Hi guys, in today's review we'll be looking at this slightly old Hornby locomotive, and this is a Grange, Great Western Grange, and it's in the BR Black early crest, and it's Derwent Grange. I've had this a while. It was before Hornby put plugs in the loco, between the loco and tender. So yeah, I thought I'd review this because it's quite an intriguing livery for me. Normally see Great Westerns in Brunswick Green and stuff like that, but BR Black, it doesn't look too bad if I'm honest with you. So we'll get in and see what it's all about and how good it actually is, if it is. Starting off at the detail bags, there is two, and it's pretty pointless really. Could have made one bag, I believe. We do get a little bit of coal for the coal chute, that's where I think it goes. And then the other one, I believe we get a front coupling, two-parter, but it just slots in. It's quite easy. As we move on to the front of the locomotive is pretty detailed. Hornby done a fantastic job here. We do have metal sprung buffers, which is a nice touch. We also have a chain link in there as well, which I think may have been a part of a detail bag that I didn't get. We have a vacuum pipe as well. The buffer beam and housing is in red. There's a few rivets on it as well. There also is a hole for the coupling that's in a detail bag. And you get some iron to knock stuff off the tracks. Moving up, we do have, looks like 3 lamp irons separately applied. Hundreds of rivets on there as well. We also have a step before we get to the smoke box door. The smoke box door itself does have a separately applied dart, a handrail. The hinges or anything are not picked out, but it's not a great shame. They are there. At least it's a nice touch. We have a clip as well for the door. We have a lamp iron at the top. The number of the locomotive is 6862. We also have a shed code. If I've got this correct, I believe the shed code is 84B. It's either Wolverhampton Oxley or it's St. Blazer or something like that. So if I pronounce them any wrong, they're the two I think it is. And at the top we also have the Great Western style chimney as well. As we move on to the side of the model, both sides of the model are exactly the same, apart from this side round here has a plastic or metal reverser rod. It is painted black. It does go behind the splasher and the name board as well. Speaking of the name board, it is black background with gold writing. Doesn't look too bad. I quite like it actually, and it's Derwent Grange. Got that correct. And the splashes themselves are in a gold lining. Looks nice. I actually like it. The wheel configuration for this locomotive is a 460. It's a Great Western, so obviously it's a 460. This livery for this locomotive is in black. No lining or anything like that. Just plain black with gold trim on the splashes and also on the safety valves as well. I personally prefer this BR livery on this Great Western locomotive anyway. Looks quite eye-catching. We do have a superheater around this side as well, and we also have the number of the locomotive and the axle availability where it is allowed and not allowed. We do have some steps as well. As we move to the part that everyone looks forward to in the review, that is the cab area itself. And this is a pretty early one from Hornby, and it's fantastic, this cab detail. We do have that movable thing between the loco and tender. This one doesn't move, but it's there. It's a nice touch. Everything inside the cab is painted, and Hornby have gone to the trouble of painting most things in there, as well as the glazing. The glazing looks quite nice. You can also see some seats, or at least I think the seats as well. As we move on to the front of the tender, we do have some metal buffers, not sprung, but there. It's a nice touch. Hornby could have easily kept them black. We do have a coal chute, but no coal to come out because it's in the detail bag. And we do have a few tools for the firemen to play with for the water and the coal, etc. And the brakes as well. They are there. They're not picked out, but they are there. As we do a side view of the tender, as you can tell, the tender is BR black. And this is an early emblem on the tender. It's quite crisply applied. Actually, it's quite nice. We do have quite a lot of rivets on there, which is correct. Moving down, we do have what looks like some steps either side, at the tender side and the cab side. We do have them. We also have some axle boxes and stuff moulded, but it's sort of painted. It doesn't look too bad. To do the job, the tender is probably correct. As we move on to the back of the tender, the back of the tender is quite detailed, if I'm honest with you. We do have the metal sprung buffers again. We do also have an NAM pocket coupling as well, small tension lock one. The buffer beam and housing is in red. Lots of rivets as well. A hook which looks to be separately applied. There's no chain link or anything with this side, but it is a hook. We also have a vacuum pipe as well. We at least have 3 lamp irons at the top. We also have some steps to get up. There's some handrails and there's another lamp iron at the top as well. And the tender is black. As we do a bird's eye view on top of the tender top is in black. We do have a water cap there. We also have a dome, which I'm not sure what that's for. We also have some moulded hooks for chains and stuff, the tarpaulin and all the rest you need. That's not too bad. There's a few rivets there as well. Moving along, we do have a coal load. It's not too bad, if I'm honest with you. I have seen better, but it's not too bad. We also have a place where the fireman could put his rakes and shovels and stuff. We have some boxes as well for tools, I'm guessing. As we do an aerial view on top of the locomotive this time, starting in the usual places. The cab roof is in black with lots of rivets there. It's quite nice actually, how much rivets there is. We also have a whistle and guard. I think the whistle is plastic, but it's not a shame or anything. There's no lining on the boiler or anything like that. We do have the correct style safety valves, and with this black livery, it doesn't look too bad. I actually like it. We do have a superheater and some handrails as well. We have the copper chimney. We also have the swung buffers at the front. As we do an underneath look at this locomotive, the brake rigging was already applied. We also have a front bogie, which I don't think it picks up any pickups or anything with electricity. I'm very unsure, but I don't think so. We also have some drain cocks that are already applied as well. We have about 4 screws to take off the base plate if you really wanted to, but need a small cog in the centre or gear, which you want to lubricate, you can. All 6 driving wheels do pick up, wonderful. There's some sanding gear and brake gear as well there, too, to go with it, and the wheels do need a clean. And finally, as we move on to the loco and tender connection, the loco and tender connection is the Hornby style one before the plug. So it's like a fork and a hole stump on the tender. The tender does pick up by the looks of it, because why would Hornby go to the trouble of putting wire in there? So it's very basic, but it does the job. We do have the brake rigging already applied. Part of it is coming off. I can't seem to clip it back into place. It is a nightmare. Looks like the wheels do pick up from what I can see. We also have a water scoop too. Then we have a small tension lock coupling at the end. So yeah, that's it on the track. So next up will be the usual points test and second radius. Let's see if it can manage that. So here goes. Pretty smooth. It's on DC. We're talking 20 exactly. So yeah, pretty smooth for DC. Quite a fantastic runner actually. Seeing there's no plug in the locomotive. So yeah, it managed that pretty well, if I'm honest with you. I was quite impressed with the points test. So next it will be slow speed, and I'll find it a train, and then I'll see you at the end for my opinion. So here goes. Again, not too bad. Quite impressed with that. What's that? 21. It probably could do slow, but this is DC analog, so I'm quite impressed with that myself. So yeah guys, that's the end of the review. Before I give my opinion on this locomotive, I'll show you what it ran with, which is just a few random coaches, Great Western ones, but in the BR livery. We've got a few Airfix there, Bachmann, Lima, that's about it. And a few different liveries, so we've got maroon, blood and custard, chocolate and cream, so a nice mixture. And they ran quite well with this locomotive. The locomotive itself, my opinion, for an oldish loco before the plugs came in, it runs pretty well, pretty smooth actually for me. I paid, I think, £90 eBay, I want to say. It was around £90, it wasn't over 100, and that was several years ago. It could have been actually when they first came out. And the amount of detail you get for it is fantastic. Could it deal with the plug? I don't know. Mine doesn't, but it's all down to preference in it. So yeah, I quite like it. It looks odd for me, but in BR black, but it looks fantastic as well with something different. Some locos suit BR black, some locos don't, and this one actually suits BR black, especially with the safety valves and splashes and the nameplate being in gold or chrome. It doesn't look too bad. I quite like it. If I gave the livery a star rating, it would be 4.5 stars out of 5, but that's just me, and that's only my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you agree, disagree, let me know. And anyway guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Please take care.